Welcome everyone to Video Games Monthly Monday. And as always, we'll be using our highly advanced grading system to see just how good this month's box really is. Starting off, we got a couple of cute little Mario stickers, which is kind of cool. Not upset about that. But anyway, let's get right to the first game. Let's check out G-Lock Air Battle on the Game Gear. Yeah, this game is not for me. I've never really found these types of games interesting. They're just kind of boring and repetitive to me. But to each his own, right? Anyway, you are allowed to select your mission at the start, which typically consists of shooting down a certain number of enemies. The first mission had me shooting down 10 fighter jets. I accomplished the mission but barely made it out alive. The second mission though, I had to destroy battleships but I couldn't hit a single one. I assumed I needed to use one of my 30 missiles but couldn't figure out how. I mean, there's only 2 buttons, how complicated could it be? I don't know, maybe there was something wrong with the controller mapping on the Retron 5. Oh, and you have 1 life and no continues. Once you die, it's game over, man. Yeah, that'll be the last time I ever play this game. I'm gonna give it a D. Speaking of the Retron 5, I couldn't get this next game to work, but it worked perfectly fine on the actual Game Gear, but thankfully a while back I picked up the Sonic Origins Plus collection, which just happens to have this game, so let's check out Sonic Triple Trouble on the Game Gear. Considering how much of a Sonic fanatic I was as a kid, I never really got into the handheld games. However, I did play through Sonic Advance for the first time last year and surprisingly enjoyed it. But I was excited to hear this compilation had all the Game Gear games. Why the Game Gear needed nearly a baker's dozen worth of Sonic titles, we'll never know. Anyway, none of that is important. How's the game? Well, it's what you would expect from Sonic on a handheld console from its time. Twitchy, less responsive controls, poorer frame rate, less pixels, and slightly annoying music. But hey, if you needed Sonic on the go, it's feasible, I guess. I always wanted to play this game as a kid as I was a big fan of the Archie Sonic comics, and there just happens to be a comic based off this game, but I'm gonna give it a B. Last up, speaking of Sonic the Hedgehog, we also got Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on the Sega Genesis. Technically, this game is also on the Sonic Origins Plus collection, but that's the Game Gear version. As I already said, I was a huge Sonic fanatic as a kid, and I always kind of wanted this game. But as naive as I was back in the day, I think I subconsciously knew this game wasn't for me. How do I feel about it now, though? Well, I'm not typically the biggest fan of these types of games. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just when I think of a console game, I think of, a platformer or adventure game. I think these games are more fun on handhelds or a mobile phone. You'll never see me reaching for this game or something similar on a console. But that being said, I didn't have a bad time with it. I just feel these games are more enjoyable in small doses. I will say the intro music is a bit too heavy for its own good. Well, I got bored once again and recorded a cover. I have no idea how accurate it is, but here you go. You know, I have about 30 songs that I need to record, and here I am covering Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. Anyway, I'm happy to add this game to my collection. I'm gonna give it a B. Anyway guys, that gives us an unexpected score of C. Thanks again for watching guys, you know what to do, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, and I'll see you again next time.